Reproduction of dogs. Reproductive season heat, oestrus, and pregnancy test. Puberty of sexual maturity in the female dog usually occurs around 6 months of age. The smaller breeds tend to go into oestrus of heats earlier, and some females can have their first heat cycle as early 4 months of age. On the other hand, the large giant breeds can be up to 2 years old before they come into heat from the first time. How often do female dogs come into heat? On average, this occurs about twice a year or every 6 months. Although it varies from dog to dog. When cycling begins, there may be a great deal of variability in the time between cycles. This is a normal sum. Females take 18 months to 2 years to develop a regular cycle. There is no evidence that irregular heat cycle predispose the dog falls pregnant on pyometra, uterine infection. Small breeds tend to cycle more regularly than the large breeds. 3 and occasionally 4 heat cycle per year can be normal in some females. Very large breeds may only have a heat cycle on every 12 to 18 months. In the most giant breeds, Great Danes, Irish, Wolfhounds, Saint Bernard, and etc. An oestrus cycle every 12 months is common. How long does a heat cycle or oestrus last? Heat cycle vary but average to 2 to 3 weeks, the most dogs. Heat should be considered to begin with the first sign of vulvar discharge, or when the female begins leaking or paying attention to her vulva. The vulva will begin to appear swollen. It ends when all discharge ceases and the vulva has returned into normal size. What are signs of dog heat? The most notable sign vagina is bleeding. This may not become apparent until a few days after the female has actually come into certerus. Vulvar swelling should be taken as the first sign in addition to female paying increased attention, such leaking the area to her end. From beginning of heat period, she will attractive to male dogs but will usually not be receptive or allow mating until about 7 to 10 days later. Discharge will usually become less blood stains and this time. Some females experience have vaginal bleeding during oestrus. If you are considered, please consult your veteran. You may also find the sheep passing small quantities or urine more frequently. The urine contains both pheromones and hormones which signal any interested male that she will be received soon. How soon after an oestrus can a bitch be desexed? When animal in season, there is an increased blood supply to both the uterus and ovaries. The dog can be desexed while they are in season, but generally we try to do the 8-week surgery 8 weeks after the start or the last oestrus cycle. When is the best time mate your dog? This can be difficult. Most evaluate and receptive around the 11th day of oestrus. The discharge will then be less bloody and the female will be attractive looking for male. However, ovulation may occur either early or late during the heat cycle.